This is also Michael Penis, caught on candid camera over here, talking about how unwell Trump is.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing?
A lot of folks on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on foreign affairs and appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
You
the
have a
speaker's,
president who is, you have a president who is unwell.
Dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? He's bad on every part of the job. Like, there is not a single redeeming quality of Donald Trump. Like, he's funny, that's it. But I'm talking like as a part of the administrative apparatus, there is not a single redeeming factor for Donald Trump. He's bad on every single thing. He's silly. He's narcissistic. You got to respect how great of a businessman he is. I mean, yeah, he's just the American public. The only good thing he did is that he stopped USAID. No more CIA stuff from there. No, but you're wrong. It doesn't even... No. USAID is not stopped entirely. It just went back into the hands of the CIA directly. So there's no more soft power initiatives, only hard power. So they're still doing the shit. They're just doing it at the directive of the CIA, and they're no longer doing the marginal good things that they were doing in an effort to garner good favor all around the world that made a lot of the destabilizing initiatives easier to conduct. Like, that was a part of the bargain. Like, America gets to be the world police. America gets to be the world police, but also America like gives back a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's not like they took away it's not like they stopped America's interest in destabilizing other countries. They're still doing that. They're just doing that directly under the CIA instead of under the State Department by way of USAID. And there's no more subtext. It's all text. There's no more soft power. It's all hard power. Also, a component of USAID that was very destabilizing for the countries that they actually sent this aid to, because a country that gets aid or a country that relies on aid doesn't invest in its own agricultural development and is incapable of developing sovereignty, incapable of being independent. And now it's double because those countries did not actually develop their agricultural output evenly because they were relying on grain and other sorts of things coming from the United States of America by way of USAID. And that was a massive subsidy to the farmers. That's a big part of the output for American farmers, too. They were just selling to USAID. So now American farmers are... People in Somalia are... because they don't get the free grain that they were used to getting, and they never actually developed their own agricultural output in the process. So everybody's... Yeah, it's not that they failed to develop. The aid destroyed their agricultural sectors. Yes, that was the purpose. And that's not the only thing that USAID does, obviously. But that's just one component that's like at least in between, where it looks like it's actually a good thing, but in fact, it's done for a very indecent purpose, and it's done in a way that actually ends up, in the long run, harming countries' attempts at sovereignty. Having said that, this is precisely why that was always a dangerous bargain, because one day they just cut it, and then you're cooked. The aid is above all a means of subsidizing the purchase of American grain to make these states client states thanks to the game of unfair competition and corrupt powers which crush local production. Yeah. Soybean farmers are double. Oh, yeah, because China's just said no more soy. Stack the soybean crop no longer being sold to China on top of that, and the farmers are double. No, farmers are quadruple. And it's really funny in some ways because farmers are, at least the way we understand it, like farmers are no longer like the farmhands. You know what I mean? And I guess some could even say that they never really were. Not to get too deep into it, but they're owners, right? They're capital owners in many respects. And therefore, due to their class position, they vote for the reactionary party. They're like, of course I'm going to vote for the deregulatory party. Of course I'm going to vote for the tax breaks for the wealthy party. I'm a capital owner, right? I'm a property owner. I'm a capital owner. I'm the master here, right? And what's interesting about it is, even though they get in the long run, and they have gotten already by Trump before in an identical fashion, they still vote for the Republican Party. They still vote for the Republican Party. They know at least they'll get a bailout or something, but It doesn't even matter. It's not even a leopards eat my face party at that point. It's like leopards ate my face last time and I liked it party, okay? I'm waiting for the leopard to eat my face again, and this time maybe my ass too party. It's crazy. Trump is proletarianizing the peasant class. Trust the process. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah, there's a $50 billion bailout. Scoop. Hill, Republican estimates Trump will need to send as much as $50 billion to the farmers hit by tariffs. Trump admin plans to roll out billions for USDA, but Treasury officials and others are eyeing ways to tap tariff revenue without a fight in Congress. It's just crazy because, like, who is this for? Who is this for? Like, why are we doing any of this shit? Like, at the end of the day, is it worth it that we have data centers all around the country so we can make, like, the dumbest AI videos of all time? Is that what this is for? Because, like, what kind of industry are we pumping in this country? What kind of industrial base have we developed leading up to Donald Trump and certainly after Donald Trump? Like, what will we have? What kind of trade are we protecting? Do we have good paying jobs now? Is that what happened? Because we don't. It's all bullshit. Everything sucks. We make nothing. Not to get all Stephen Miller here, but we make nothing. We build nothing. We are nothing. It's just slop and a bunch of con men. I saw Ryan Grimm and Sauger talking about AI data centers jacking up prices today. Virginia being a prime example of a state that Amazon has captured. Yeah, electricity prices are surging. We have burgers and guns, bro. That's true. We have burgers and we have gun. And we have gun burger. And also now we have AI gun. We used to have gun burger and now it's AI gun. It's awesome. Wait till we make AI burger and then it's just and then it's over. It's complete. The American project is complete. New WAPO poll: 47% of respondents blame Trump and Republicans in Congress for the government shutdown. Just 30% blame the Democrats. Oh my God.
Shut off in the middle of a hurricane season. Chuck Schumer is leading the Democrats off a cliff, and it's very simple. Everyone now knows why. He's trying to fend off a challenge from his far left in his party for his next Senate race. That's why he's done it. Chuck Schumer voted for this exact product in March of this year.
Mr. Speaker.
And every year that he's been in Congress, which is more than half my life.
Mr. Speaker, I'm curious about the implications of there not being a deal. The subsidies that support the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, used by more than 20 million people. They've come to depend on them. If those subsidies go away, healthcare premiums will spike. Some people will choose not to go on insurance. Bernie Sanders is arguing some people are going to die as a result. Are Republicans trying to topple or effectively topple Obamacare without outright saying so?
No, this is an absolute...
Oh, really? No, you say. No, not at all. We just want to make sure that it is so costly because we cut the funding mechanism that it's basically impossible to stay on your healthcare coverage.
100% red herring. Everyone in Congress knows, and the Democrats know as well, even the ones making this crazy argument, that that is a provision that does not expire until the end of December, December 31. We are in the beginning of October. They're trying to make a December policy issue. Wait a minute. Part of the argument for a stopgap funding measure in Congress. That is not the issue.
But Speaker, people at home have to make decisions now about what they're going to be doing next year. They're looking at how much money they have, how much something might cost, and they're deciding now.
Tony, we have 3 months for Congress to do its deliberate work. All we're saying is while that work is done on these and other issues, keep the lights on for the American people. The Democrats have made a wild series of counter demands. What they're demanding is to spend $1.5 trillion additional dollars for a 7-week stopgap funding measure. We can't do that. They want to give health care paid for by taxpayers, hardworking Americans, to illegal aliens. We are not going to do that. They want to give $500 million back for left-leaning media organizations paid for by taxpayers.
What he's talking about is funding public broadcasting, dude. Like, so the kids can watch Sesame Street, by the way. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about PBS and NPR, dude. Oh, this country sucks so much dick. Oh, God. We are so mean and so ruthless to so many people. It's just evil maxing. That's all. I feel like that's all Republicans do. And I guess to a certain degree, Democrats do it too. But it's just like, it's so transparent when Republicans are in charge, where they're just like, we're going to f the poor. We're going to kill them. We're going to kill them dead. That's our job. That's our goal. That's why I was voted into office. Why do you think I'm the Speaker of the House? I looked at the situation and I said to myself, we can get more evil. Okay. We've done a lot of evil over there to the rest of the world. And it's brought in tremendous bounty for some of the wealthiest benefactors that keep donating to my campaign. But I thought to myself, how can we kill the poor here in America? It's not enough that we kept them down all the way in the global south, as the lefties like to say. But I decided, you know what else is the global south? West Virginia. You know what else is the global south? Georgia, Kansas, North Carolina. We are going to treat those states like they're also the global south. Okay? After all, I believe in the prosperity gospel, which means that if you're wealthy, that means you're heavenly. You've done the right things, and you're a moral person. And the more wealthy you are, the more moral you are. And of course, I think you know, Tony, the less wealthy you are means the more immoral you are. So you probably deserve not being able to pay for your health care coverage.
Not doing that. They know that. They're playing a political game here, and it's very dangerous for the people.
I hear you on that.
It's quite sad.
All I got to say is transgenders and undocumented migrants, and everybody will believe me.
My name is Vanessa. I'm from Westminster. I dragged my husband up here against his will, but I have to talk about being blind in this terrible age. With DEI eliminated, that is what's being taken out of schools. That's what's being taken out of businesses. Businesses can discriminate, and they do not have to provide accommodations. And if we want people not to sit around and be worthless, and we want us to use our mind, please, Gabe Evans, stop this DEI crackdown.
Yeah, A is a part of the DEI, accessibility. Obviously, they're not there yet. There's an A in DEI. DEI also has an A, accessibility. They're obviously clamping on that part too, but we haven't evil maxed to a point where like you can openly say that, like the disabled. Like you can kind of say it as, Gabe Evans has, but like when they say DEI, like that's low-key what they're saying as well. But the reason why they can't just like openly say it yet, and I say yet because like I think even the most conservative person still feels a little rude when they hear someone straight up be like, oh, you got Down syndrome, you, or oh, you got a disability, you. We're not there yet, but we might be. Maybe next year, maybe next year. The more these guys evil max, the more we have an endless opportunity for new kinds of evil. It's the paradox of Republicans trying to seem civil while acting uncivil. Yeah, but as long as it's done within the confines of the systems, then that kind of incivility or that kind of violence, that kind of incivility and that kind of violence is not seen.
On that, and I did ask Senator Warren about some of those subjects in the last hour. I want to get you on the record on this AI sombrero video thing with Leader Jeffries. Everyone's talking about it. He says that the video and the images are racist and bigoted. You've got to work with this individual. Do you see his point of view here? Can you see how he might feel that way?
Hakeem is my friend. We have a great relationship of trust. He's a great colleague. I think he has to lighten up. When you show that you're upset, I get attacked in memes every single hour of every day. I don't react to it. That's what people are trying to get out of you as a reaction. The president was making a joke, okay? And so much has been made out of this. They're acting as if the issue of the day is a battle over memes on social media. The issue is to get services returned to American people. Young mothers.
Okay, but like your president is the one doing that, okay? Your president is the one doing that, actually. So shouldn't you be more mad at him for doing that if the situation is much more dire, much more serious? Like, what do you mean? Oh, I can't believe these guys are talking about the memes. Like, my president is just a memer. He's a memester. It's like, okay, he's the one doing the memes while 750,000 jobs are potentially threatened to be furloughed. He's the one who also doubled down and said, we're going to fire them at will for funsies because I'm a petulant child. So he's not the one taking this shit seriously at all. The do you mean? And look, for all of my criticisms of like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and them, they haven't even made that big of a deal. They should have never actually sat in the room when they saw those dumbass hats, or at least picked up the hat and chucked it at Donald Trump's face or something. But like, it's ridiculous that they sat in that room with those hats in display so that Donald Trump could make a mockery out of them and belittle them even further. But they haven't made that big of a deal of Donald Trump doing these sorts of little childish shit, childish things so far. I can't begin to describe the raw contempt and rage this snake oil preacher salesman fills me with. This kind of soft-spoken, polite, prim, and proper asshole is so common down here. You can never catch him in a weak public moment. But they're at clammy meetings on the weekends. I hate Mike Johnson and Scott Jennings more than anyone else in American politics. I mean, yeah, they are like that. They're very buttoned up, but they're ginormous pieces of shit, and they're huge liars. And on top of that, they know that Donald Trump is like bad optics. That's the other thing. Like, these guys would love to have a Jeb Bush in charge. They just love all of the cuts that Donald Trump represents. They love all of the deregulation that Donald Trump is able to push for. They don't like the optics, and plenty of Republicans who are now never Trump Republicans were so pissed off and so frustrated with Donald Trump and the way he carried himself and the way that he like spat on this massively important position in around the world, really, not even just like in America. You're the leader of the free world, right? Like, this is how you behave. This is how you carry yourself. All that shit is obviously, I mean, they hate that too. They hate it too. They just can't say anything about it.
We're dependent upon that nutrition assistance right now. Veterans who need their services. We have suicide prevention programs that are being halted right now.
Mr.
This
Speaker,
is serious business.
it is
We should not be
serious.
talking about sombreros on the internet. We should be talking about the American people's needs.
Okay, that's the president is doing that, man. The president is doing that. I think that's something you got to take up with the big guy, okay? You're too pussy to say anything, but like, you're not wrong. That's not that consequential. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I've given up. I've given up on looking at that and being like, what the is this? Like, what are we doing? I care more about the cuts to Medicaid that these guys push through.
It is serious business. We've given it extensive coverage today, and we'll continue covering it tomorrow. One additional topic I do want to get your answer on is Representative Grijalva, who won a special election last week in Arizona. She's yet to be sworn in. I know you're not in session, but you've sworn in Republicans out of session. Why not her? Does it have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, the House is not on the floor doing business this week, but we will do it immediately, early next week, as soon as everyone returns to town. We have to have everybody here, and we'll swear her in. I congratulate her on her win. She's replacing her father, who had a long history here, and she'll be a productive member of Congress. We look forward to that.
All right.